And here we go, it's round 13 of the 1988 Formulalympics season, and we have finally got our final 20 as of the last round. Chile and Switzerland have been eliminated at the end of the previous round in Brazil. So, for round 13, we are off to the host nation. Well, it would be the host nation for the South Korean Grand Prix, but unfortunately, I could only find 3 tracks that belong in South Korea for Assetto Corsa, and unfortunately none of them worked. Well, the only one that did work only had only a pit stop space for 1 car, and we need 23 minimum, so that was no use. So, going for the next best thing, we're going to go off to the high speed ring for the 30th round of the season, and without further ado, let's get to the group qualify session and see who will make the grid for the... And here we go with the first qualifying group, so we'll see who will be the first 11 drivers to make it to the race here at the high speed ring for the host nation race. Now, like I said earlier, I was trying to find a race track from South Korea, but unfortunately I can only find 3. Two of them did not work, and the other one only had like pit stop size for like 6 cars when I need a minimum 23. But anyway, we're going to the high speed ring instead as an alternative, as Michele Alboreto will be going out to set the benchmark for everyone to try and beat. Of course, Michele Alboreto is the championship lead by only 2 points ahead of Nigel Mansell, who's in second with 103 points. Gerhard Berger is third with 39 points, fourth Louis Persal with 77 points, and right at the top 5 is Bernd Schneider with 69 points. In the nation's competition, Italy leads the way with 126 points, with Brazil second 109. 3 points more than the United Kingdom is third with 106 points, and Spain are fourth with 101 points, and throughout the top 5 is France with 86 points. Now, of the 20 nations that are remaining, only 15 of them are in contention to win the nation's championship. So Australia, South Africa, the Netherlands, Greece and Argentina are officially out of contention, as there's not enough points left of the season for them to catch up to Italy in the nation's competition. Meanwhile, Michele Alboreto goes out to do his flying lap, 30.2 seconds in the first sector. Of course, with the high speed ring, it'll be very, very fast, as Michele Alboreto is already trundling down the second sector of this course. It's going to be very exciting to see what is that benchmark time going to be from the championship leader. Down in sector 2, 35.1 seconds to time, 1 final corner to go, the very, very fast right-hander. And we're about to come towards the start finish line, and what is that time going to be for Michele Alboreto? It is going to be a 51.8 seconds. So that seems like a really, really fast time. Nearly everyone is coming out onto the track to do their qualifying runs, to try and get one of the 11 spots to get into the race, as Alboreto gets past Graham Duxbury, and he's 400ths of a second faster than his first time already. And so they're coming across the line to set their first time, and that is Jan Lammers, only 100th of a second slower than Alboreto. Very good time there. But Nelson Piquet goes fastest with a 51.8. And with Alboreto in second 2, 9,000th of a second slower than Nelson Piquet. As we got a couple of people about to come across the line to start the time. Thorkis Thyren goes faster with a 51.5. Pierre de Dome goes even faster, 51.511. Really, really good time there. And now we've got Alan Grice, 51.7. Alboreto, meanwhile, is going to the pits. There's HE with 51.9. He's in a bit of tussle with Graham Duxbury of South Africa. And now Louis Persal, 51.3, goes even. It says an even faster time. The times are coming in thick and fast. That is for sure. We've got Timo Salonen 10th with Derek Warwick 4th, 51.7. So Saladin's the only driver to set time slower than 51 seconds. And there's Oscar Leroy in the danger zone, thanks to the knee. There's the knee does 51.6. Bernd Schneider goes into 451.5. So we got Saladin and Leroy in the danger zone, with A Cheever in the bubble with a 51.9. 100 seconds faster in the second sector than Louis Persala. Meanwhile, David Kennedy does a 51.5. So a good time there from the Irishman. Nico Daichi coming across the line. 51.163 goes fastest. And we got Carlos Sainz now is third, so just behind his teammate Louis Persala. Costas Loss sets the time 14th. But Stig Blomqvist sets the fastest time with 51.0. Team Hassan improves his time, it goes into 15th, as Team Boutsen sets the time going in 16th position. Now Jan Lammers goes into third for the Netherlands, with Piers Schober right behind 4th. So everyone's set a time in the mode. Nelson Piquet in the danger zone in 12th. Now this is not good news for Brazil or for Piquet in general, both the drivers and the nation's competitions. So the Piquet in the danger zone, Derek Warwick's in the danger zone, Alan Grice out the championship leader, Alboreto in the danger zone. He's coming out to do another run, as they got just about 7 minutes left of the session. Derek Warwick 8/10 of a second slower in sector 2. Green Duxbury says improves his time. He's in 19th. Now Alboreto, the championship leader, come out. He's got to try and make up about 2/10 of a second. Oh! Derek Warwick goes improves time in 7th. Boutsen improves time in 15th. Pierre Shaw improves time goes into 2nd. Okay. Oscar Leroux, meanwhile, improves time goes into 17th. As Alboreto about to come across the start finish line to start his flying lap. We've got quite a few drivers, well, quite a lot of drivers in the pits. I think more than half of them are in the pits right now. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But here goes Michele Alboreto to start his flying lap, wanting to try and improve from 16th place, especially when Nigel Mansell is his championship rival. Mansell is in the second group. Duxbury improves his time, goes into 18th for South Africa. Alboreto travels away in sector 1. He is going to be 6/10 of a second down. So he's already on the back foot to try and catch Bernd Schneider and push him in the danger zone. Thierry Boutsen goes fastest, 50.7. First time under 51 seconds. So amazing time there from the Belgian. But Alboreto going down sector 2. 1.0 seconds down. Okay, he might slightly put his time, but it would not be enough to get into the top 11, I don't think. Where's the team? Nini's in the danger zone as well. He's in 13th. Because Alboreto come across the start finish line, and he doesn't prove his time. He only proves into 15th. He only gets ahead of Alan Grice. He's doing a lap at the moment. But because Alboreto is doing another run, and he's going to be 6/10 of a second down. So already looking at a sign of improvement, but would that be enough for him to get in the top 11? As we have now got about 5 minutes left of the session to go, so still loads of time for it to happen. Pierre Dodon improves the time, he stays in 9th, still quite considerably behind his teammate Boutsen. Oh, 1.1 seconds down in sector 2. Okay, Alboreto is definitely not going to improve. But Nelson Piquet doing an outlap. There's Nini is out. Oh, it's a nice sound glitch there. And Alboreto, I believe, has come to the pits. Yes, he has. This could be a disaster for Alboreto if he does not qualify for this race, because it opens the door for Nigel Mansell to try and qualify and take the lead of the championship. Nini, meanwhile, does not look like he's going to improve his time either. So this is a double ban news for LA. Since it opens the door for Brazil, the United Kingdom, and possibly use Spain to try and take the lead off them in the nation's competition. As Piquet and Alan Grice having a bit of a tussle. Bernd Schneider, meanwhile, goes into 11th as he pushes Thiring in the danger zone. Piquet 600th of a second faster than Thierry Boutsen in sector 1. So a good start there for the Brazilian. But what can he make with that? Louis Persad put his time in 6th place with 51.3, ahead of his teammate Carlos Sainz, who is in 7th in this group. PK 3/10 down in sector 2, but as it stands, he's going to be comfortably making it through into the top 11. There we go, going to come across the start finish line. Meanwhile, Grice comes into the pits. And Piquet comes across the line, goes into 2nd. Schneider's in the danger zone. Kennedy is in the bubble in 11th. But here goes Bernd Schneider to make his way across the line. What can Schneider do here? He improves time, goes into 7th. So that is David Kennedy in danger of elimination. Pierre Dodon is in the bubble. And that's David Kennedy going down sector 2. He's going to be 9/10 down. Okay, does not look like he'll improve his time. Thorker Thiring, meanwhile, another driver in the danger zone. What about him? 8/10 down. Oh, he might be a slight improvement, but it will most likely not be enough to get into the top 11. Less than 3 minutes of the session to go. With the car across the line, will it be some form of improvement? No, he does not improve his time. There is Stig Blomqvist though trying to get past him, and who's currently third in this group so far. One driver surprised is not doing really well here. It's definitely Alboreto and Salonen. Salonen half a second down in sector 1. So this is going to be quite a difficult challenge here for the Finn. Alboreto, meanwhile, and his teammate Nini really in a surprise could be a surprise upset for themselves and for Italy. This could end up jeopardising their chances in the drivers and the nation's competitions. With Alboreto making his way towards the start-finish line, he's going to have to go flat out. He's got less than 2 minutes of the session to go. This could make or break Alboreto's chances here. Derek Wart, meanwhile, hasn't put his time, goes into, well, 10th, because Thorkins firing has gone to 5th. The Doan's in the danger zone. Carlos Sainz is all of a sudden in the bubble. Alboreto sector 1, nearly 6/10 down. And meanwhile, his teammate Nani, he's come out of the pits to do one last hurrah. And what about Carlos Sainz going to sector 2? 1.1 seconds down. Okay, he's not going to improve his time. This could be a surprise upset for Carlos Sainz. Alboreto 1.1 seconds down. Oh no, he's not going to improve his time at all. So Alboreto, he'll probably have time for 1, maybe even 2 runs, if that. But it looks like Alboreto's in for a shock exit. It looks like, and so is would be his teammate Nannini. A double DNQ. Oh! Disaster for Alessandro Nannini. Consequently, goes into 9 sides in the danger zone. Alessandro Nannini having a huge coming together there. I'm going to get a replay of that. What on earth happened to Alessandro? Going the inside, that is Thorkins firing. Okay. Going the inside line. Oh, slight tangle there. How Nannini kept that together, I'm not actually sure, but that was impressive. But that's definitely killed Nannini's chances of improving his time, so Nannini might end up getting eliminated. So Costas loss. Prior to the end of the session, looks like he's going to end up getting one of the Greek drivers into this race. Carlos Sainz, meanwhile, looks like he's going to be on the road out. He'll probably have time for 1 more go, if that, but I think Carlos Sainz, his chance of making it through is not going to be very good. I mean, he is going, looks like he's going to complete this lap. He's definitely have to go, well, he's going to have to go for it because he doesn't really have a choice there if he wants to make it to this race. Alboreto, what about him? He's going to go for it, it looks like. He's got a lot to try and figure out here to try and get into this race. Carlos Sainz, sector 1, 3/10 down. Already a decent start there to try and get us up to the top 11. Alboreto, meanwhile, coming down sector 1. 5/10 down. Pierre Dodone is into 11th. He pushes Warwick in the danger zone and Warwick's in the pit, so that is Warwick out. Carlos Sainz coming down sector 2. Where's he going to be? 1 second down. Oh, okay. Sainz has lost all his time in sector 2, so I think Sainz is going to be done for the day. Alboreto, meanwhile, 1.1 second. Okay, so it looks like Carlos Sainz and Alboreto are going to be eliminated. Sainz is going to finish his lap, does not improve his time, stays in 13th. Alboreto going to come to the pits. He wouldn't have improved his time anyway, so that's Alboreto out. So, yeah, quite a shock exit. We've got here the championship leader and Carlos Sainz out as well. Okay, what a session that ended up being. Okay. So, Thierry Boutsen wins this first group. Nelson Piquet is second, Stig Blomqvist is third, Pierre Schober did really well in 4th, Thorkins in 5th, Eddie Cheever 6th, 7th is Jan Lammers, Bernstein 8th, Kostas 9th, Louis Persas 10th, and Pierre Dodone is the last driver to make it to the race in 11th. So we say goodbye to Derek Warwick, Carlos Sainz, David Kennedy, Alan Grice, shocking the 2 Italians, Oslo Ruri, Graham Duxbury, and Timo Salonen. So with those results out of the way, it's time to move swiftly over to the second group for qualifying. And here we go, we're on to group number 2 for qualifying. Now, who's going to be the other 11 drivers to make it into the race? In the first group, we've already seen a shock exit for the championship leader Michele Alboreto. With Nigel Mansell in the second group, this opens the door wide open for him to jump at the chance and take the lead of the individual championships. And of course, with both Italians not qualifying for the race, that also opens the door for Brazil, the United Kingdom and Spain to punish Italy for having neither Alboreto or Nini qualify for the race. So we've got Hanna Makola of Finland coming, looks like they'll come out first to set the benchmark for everyone to try and beat, as his teammate Timo Salonen has failed to qualify for this race. Can Finland get one of their drivers into this race? And of course, remember, there's only 15 nations that are in contention to win the Drivers' Championship, as Argentina, Greece, the Netherlands, South Africa and Australia are now mathematically out of contention, as there's not enough points left of the season for them to catch up to the leaders, that is currently Italy. That's Hanna Makola making his way down sector 2, just got one corner to go, and that is him starting his flying lap, the first flying lap of the session. And here comes Hanna Makola coming flying down to the start finish straight, and Hanna Makola gets his run underway now. That is Lotte Kaibert about to come out of the pits. Go watch out for Ayrton Senna, Nigel Mansell, Gerhard Berger, who are all in this group, Alan Prost as well. So they'll be the ones to look out for the sake of the championship. Hanna Makola 13.099 in first sector. That is Arie Luyendyk of the Netherlands in front of him. His teammate Jan Laus has qualified for the race, so Luyendyk will be wanting to try and join him for the race, if possible. Here we go, coming down sector 2. I think Arie Luyendyk may have killed some of Makola's momentum by just getting in the way, but we'll see what the benchmark time is from Hanna Makola as they're coming down to the final corner, and it's just to start to the start finish line right ahead. And the benchmark time from Hanna Makola is going to be a 51.9 seconds. Probably better if it was for Luyendyk, but that is just that's the Formulalympics for you. Can be very unforgiving times. Konstantinos Apostolou of Greece improves, does a 51.6, and there's Malcolm Stewart of New Zealand with a 51.3. Amazing time there for the New Zealander. He's ahead of Derek Daly in second for Ireland with a 51.5. And we've got Danny Sullivan of the United States, 51.9. Really not been about sideways movement there, but it's not been too great for Sullivan so far. Meanwhile, Nigel Mansell did a 51.6. Good time there for the championship leader. Foshi is fast with 51.301 with John Jones second. Larry Parkins of Australia is 6th. Possum is 10th. Alan Prost is 8th. So Possum's in the bubble already for New Zealand. And Luyendyk goes into 11th, so Possum is now in danger of elimination. But we've still got a lot of time left in the session to go. Joachim Mass goes fast for the 51.0. Apostolou improves his time in 5th for the 51.4. And that's Joachim Mass right behind him there. And there's Gerhard Berger, he's in 10th. He's 2/10 faster than Joachim Mass at the moment. Derek Day puts his time in 6th. And that's Ayrton Senna, he's in a bit of a tussle with Danny Sullivan. He's gone to 7th. Michael Eriksson is 7th now. So Prost isn't... Philip Street goes to the 7th, so Street's pushed his own teammate Prost in the danger zone of elimination. Gerhard Berger, okay, there he is in sector 2, 900 a second down. It's John Jones for his time, still in second place. And there's Senna in front of him. Senna will be going to get his first time in. What can Senna do here? Berger's going to bail. I think Felix Senna killed his momentum. Senna's the last person to set a time, and Senna's the fastest so far with a 50.9. So we got Larry Parkins in the danger zone, Mansell's in the danger zone, Prost is in the danger zone, Berger, Makola, Luyendyk, Possum, Ricciardi and Heimer, they're all in danger going out. And Prost, be surprised, he's down 14th. Danny Sullivan is in the bubble. I don't know what that camera angle is, that's terrible, unfortunately. Larry Parkins 7/10 down, I don't think he'll improve. And Prost is 8/10 down, he's not likely to improve, I don't think. John Jones improves his time, he's in second. Well, he's 400s down on Ayrton Senna, so really good time there from the Canadian, getting ahead Joachim Mass. There's John Nielsen, who's in 5th for Denmark, does not improve his time, stays in 5th. Malcolm Stewart, 6th for New Zealand, Postle's in the pits in 7th, and Stewart's in the pits. Derek Daly for Ireland in 8th, Street 9th, Michael Eriksson in 10th. And so we've got about less than 7 minutes of the session to go, and in the pits goes Derek Daly. Alan Prost, we're trying to find some pace to try and get us on the top left. We're going to push Danny Sullivan in the danger zone. Larry Parkins, oh, don't think he's not going to be able to do that. Prost is not going to improve based on what the time is in Sector 2. Parkins is going to bail for the pits, looks like, and I think Prost may be wanting to do the same, hugging the inside line like that. And going outlap, Lewandowski coming to the pits. Ricciardo's going to come across the line, does not improve his time for Argentina, stays in 19th position. Michael Eriksson for Sweden, going down Sector 2, oh, 2 seconds down, okay. That's a really slow time there for Michael Eriksson. I wonder what's happened there. Something's clearly must have gone wrong. John Nielsen, 5/10 per second down in the first sector, already not looking like he's going to improve his time for Denmark, but he is in 5th place, so he's in a really good position it looks like. George Foshi's definitely going to improve his time. He'll still be in 4th for South Africa, because his teammate Duxbury has not qualified. There's Gerhard Berger's in the track, so we need to focus on him. One of the championship contenders of Gerhard Berger. Nigel Mansell, who's still in danger of being eliminated and lose his chance of catching Alboreto, who's only 2 points ahead in the championship. Well, okay, he's just come on the track. He is 13 seconds down at the moment, but here comes Gerhard Berger to start his flying lap. Got a lot of ground to try and make up to try and get himself closer to Mansell and Alboreto in the championship for himself and for Austria's sake. And Berger's 2/10 down in Sector 1. That's already a decent start. It's already enough to put him in the top 11. Hannah McCullough improves time, goes into 8th. So Dai Sullivan's now in the danger zone. Mansell's pushed down to 14th, still in his outlap. And meanwhile, Gerhard Berger coming down Sector 2. What can the Austrian do here? And he is going to be 3/10 down off Ayrton Senna, but it would still be enough for him to get to the top 11 for sure. So that is what he needs. A chance of getting to the top 11. Nigel Mansell, meanwhile, who's about to do Sector 1, 4/10 down Sector 1. Gerhard Berger improves his time. He goes into 4th, goes ahead George Fauché. Okay, so that's Michael Eriksson in the danger zone because of that. So Nigel Mansell is going to try and do the same. Oh, he's been heavily slowed down there, it looks like. That's Possum in front of him, who is in 18th position. Prost on his outlap in the moment. Hannah McCullough improves time again, goes into 7th, goes ahead Malcolm Stewart of New Zealand. Now by Nigel Mansell, I think it's Possum is completely slowed Mansell down. This is not what Mansell needs to be slowed down by someone. Ludwig Howard for his time goes into 17th. Nigel Mansell trying to get past Possum. He's looks like he's just about done it, but still that's slowed the Brit down heavily. Oh, it's one. Okay, so it's a 10th of a second faster than Senna in that first sector. So that's a much better start for Nigel Mansell. Mansell really needs to get a good timing if he wants to try and get ahead of Alboreto in the championship, as well as his championship rivals like Berger and Sala and Schneider. Hannah McCullough goes into 3rd for Finland. John Jones going into 2nd. Amazing time there. Nigel Mansell a 10th down of Ayrton Senna in the 2nd sector. Berger says it's might be enough. Oh no, he's going to bail for the pits! Nigel Mansell's thrown it away. He's going to the pits. I don't know why. Possum for his time, he's just missing out on the top 11 spots because for Felix Streep, and Felix Streep has gone fastest. And his team Prost is into 6th. Derek Daly's now in the danger zone. Apostolo is in the bubble, and I say Berger's gone to 6th. Perkins is 9th. Sullivan's all of a sudden to 2nd. Okay, so well, the board's completely changed massively there. So all of a sudden, Nielsen's in the bubble. Malcolm Stewart is in danger of elimination. Apostolo's in the danger zone as well. So Streif is suddenly in the lead. Sullivan is 2nd. Senna is 3rd. John Jones is 4th. McCullough is 5th. Joachim Mass 6th. Berger 7th. Prost is 8th. Larry Parkins is 9th. George Fauché 10th. And John Nielsen is in the bubble in 11th. Hang on. So Larry Parkins 18th down. Who's out of the 10th down? Is it Prost? Might have been Prost, but either way he's in the pits. And Philippe Streif improved his time even further with a 50.5. Philippe Streif is suddenly on fire here, literally. Berger's in the pits. Oh man, I hate that the camera does that sometimes. It affects what we can see. Well, less than 2 minutes of the session to go. Mansell's still in the pits. He really needs to think about getting going if he wants to get a chance, if he wants to try and catch Alboreto. But if he doesn't get it now, then I think Mansell's going to be out completely. It's going to be the end of him. Michele Alboreto 1 second down, sector 2. He's not going to catch Nielsen for 11th. Possum, meanwhile, going to build for the pets. I think he's going to call it. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be done for the session. So, as it stands, I think, so it's fair to say Malcolm Stewart, Derek Daly, Possum, Michael Eriksson, and Ari Lundek are out. As we've got just as we're on to the final minute of the session. Apostolo doesn't improve his time, stays in 13th for Greece. Ludwig Heinrich 4 times down for Canada, where his teammate is currently 4th. So this is the pretty much a last ditch effort from Heinrich. Ricard's going to the pits, he's done for the session. Not going to be able to get out of 20th. John Jones is into 2nd, the other Canadian, 50.7, gets ahead of Donny Sullivan. Heinrich 1.4 seconds down. Okay, so he's not going to improve his time at all. He can try and go for one more session if he chooses. He's going to have to go for it if he wants to try and get to this race. Apostolo 1.4 seconds down. Last lap for Heinrich here. He's in a bit of a battle with Ayrton Senna. Man's currently 4th, but he wants to see if he can try and get a better grip position for the race, it looks like. And Heinrich is 600th of a second down. Clearly using Ayrton Senna's slipstream to his advantage. Is Heinrich the only driver in this track that is not in the top 11? So it's really eyes on him. Will it be him that goes into the race, or will it be John Nielsen? John Nielsen is 11. Okay, so he's on the track right now. He's in a bit of a tussle with Hannah McCullough. 1.3 seconds down. Okay, so I think it's official that Ludwig Heinrich is out. He is not going to be able to close that time in. So that is going to be the end for Ludwig Heinrich of Canada. I mean, the previous time he got to have Nigel Mansell, but that's it really. What about John Nielsen using the slipstream of Hannah McCullough? Across the line, he proves his time, goes into 4th. Goes ahead of Ayrton Senna. Amazing time there from the Dane. And that is the end of the session. Alrighty, what a session that turned out to be. So, Philip Streif wins the second group. John Jones is 2nd. Danny Sullivan has finally qualified in 3rd. John Nielsen is 4th. Ayrton Senna is 5th. Hannah McCullough 6th. Joachim Mass 7th. Gerhard Berger is 8th. Alan Prost 9th. Larry Perkins is 10th. And George Froschy is the final driver to make it to the race. So we say goodbye to Malcolm Stewart, Apostolo, Derek Daly, Possum, Michael Eriksson, Ludwig Heinrich, shockingly Nigel Mansell, Ari Lundek, and Jorge Ricaldi. So with those results out of the way, it is finally time to check out the grid positions and see where everyone will be for the race. And it's on to the grid. Philippe Streif on pole position with John Jones alongside him. In 3rd place is Thierry Boots of Belgium, with Danny Sullivan getting a good qualifying position in 4th. Nielsen and Senna lock out the 3rd row, followed by Nelson Piquet and Hannah McCullough of Finland. 9th is Stig Blomqvist, Joachim Mass rounds up the top 10. 11th Gerhard Berger, Alan Prost alongside him on row 6. Row 7 is Chauvet and Zorka Thiring, followed by A. Chiva and Jan Lowers on row 8. Then it is Larry Perkins and Bernd Schneider on row 9. 19th George Froschy, 20th Costas Loss. At the back of the grid is Louis Persala and Pierre Didone. So with Alboreto not qualifying for this race, this opens the door for Gerhard Berger to capitalise, because Nigel Mansell's not in this race either. The United Kingdom's chance of catching Alboreto has completely collapsed. But can Gerhard Berger capitalise on it and close in on the pair of them? He really needs a good result to keep himself in championship contention. And also, Danny Sullivan finally qualifying for the first time in the F1 division. A good result for him. Can he capitalise from starting in 4th place? Without further ado, let's get into the race and see how things will unfold. And so here we go, it's time for the race here at the high speed ring. With neither Alboreto or Nigel Mansell qualifying for the race, this helps Gerhard Berger, Louis Persala, Bernd Schneider and a few others to help catch up to the pair of them in the Drivers' Championship. In the Nations table, with both Italy and the United Kingdom not having any of their drivers qualifying for this race, that opens the door for Brazil and Spain to take advantage of it, maybe even try and take the lead of the Nations competition. How will things go in this race? Without further ado, let's get into this race and we will find out. Focusing on the pole sector, that's Philippe Streif, who's in pole position with John Jones next to him in the front row. And the race gets underway now. And a good start there for John Jones, and he gets a much better start than Philippe Streif, so he takes the lead on the race right off the line. Good start, good job there for the Canadian. In fact, Danny Sullivan got a really good start as well. He's made his way to third for the United States. 49 laps off the high-speed ring. We need to get that fire car back in the pits before it's too late. And here we go. So, leading the way is John Jones, Philippe Streif second, Sullivan third, Butson fourth. Senna looking like he's trying to get, looks like he's been being passed by his teammate Nelson Piquet for fifth. So, seventh is Nielsen, eighth, Joachim Mass, ninth is Alan Prost with Hannah McCall in the final point position in 10th position. Lots of overtakes going on up down the field. Danny Sullivan, meanwhile, in the battle for second with Philippe Streif, the man who's leading the way in the F2 division, who's finally qualified for an F1 race. In fact, it's going to be 3 wide between Sullivan, Jones and Streif as they make their way to lap 2 of 49. Oh, how's it going to go here? It's being 3 wide. They're quite close together, Streif and Jones. Oh, but they've all made it through safely. And Streif, that's leading the way here. But Jones and Sullivan are still right on them. And here's his semi, while in the background, he's down to 6th. He's been passed by PK and Butson. So PK is up into 4th, chasing the front runners. We've got lots of overtakes up and down the field. It's quite crazy here, but John Jones is leading the way with Philippe Streif right behind second. PK and Butson closing in on Sullivan for third place. As they're making way to the start finish straight. Who's going to get the fast lap of this race? Could be anyone's guess, honestly. That is Nelson Piquet right now with a 51.5, and he is still right behind the first, second, and third. But here's Thierry Butson making the overtake for fourth. But Piquet's going to come right back and try to maintain that position. Philippe Streif is retaking the lead of the race. John Jones overtakes Philippe Streif once again to get back into first. Here's slipping down the order. We've got Alan Prost made his way into 6th. John Nielsen just passing, battling with Joachim Mass for 8th place. And Gerhard Berger at the back end of the points, ahead of Mikola, trying to chase down Nielsen and Mass, who's battling for 8th. As John Jones and Philippe Streif continues to battle for the lead of the race. As Nelson Piquet in 4th, under pressure from Butson and Prost. Prost flying up the field as he gets the fast lap of this race in 6th place. And here's Senna trying to make the move, go to the outside of Prost, and Senna not only gets past Prost, he gets past Butson into 5th, so he's now right up behind his teammate of Nelson Piquet for 4th place. 4:49, the laps are flying by for sure, with the 2 Brazilians battling for 4th place, which will be ideal for them for the Drivers' Championship. The nation's table wouldn't make much of a difference. And here Senna has actually got past his own teammate, so Senna's now 4th. He's the one now trying to chase Sullivan for 3rd place. Prost meanwhile trying to put the pressure on Thierry Butson for 6th place. As Joachim Mass has dropped off the pace from Nielsen, and he's been under pressure from Berger. Oh no, Nielsen's right next to him, sorry. But, 3 wide here. Oh, nearly, that was nearly a bit of a coming together there, but back towards the front. Piquet has repassed Senna for 4th, sorry. The Senna is coming right back to try and get that position off of them. Meanwhile, Streif is leading the way. Jones is 2nd, Sullivan is 3rd, Piquet 4th, Senna 5th, Thierry Butson 6th, Prost 7th. Mikola is up into 8th for Finland, Joachim Mass 9th, and John Nielsen the back end of the points in 10th, with Gerhard Berger right behind them in 11th. And Thierry Butson getting ahead of Ayrton Senna for 5th, as Butson's now trying to put the pressure on Nelson Piquet for 4th place. But here comes Ayrton Senna though, trying to see if you can have a say to that. Going a bit sideways there, but Senna does went out of it and actually gets past Piquet back into 4th place. As Jones and Streif continuing to swap back and forth, for the lead of this race. Danny Sullivan not able to keep up with the front runners. Danny Sullivan doing a really good job here in third for the United States, compared to his teammate Achiever, who's actually in the points. He's also in the point section in 10th. Go ahead, Berger and Nielsen. Going towards the final corner, there's Prost with the two Brazilians and Thierry Boutsen. There he is in 7th. It's been passed by the Belgian. But he's now going to try to get the slipstream and see if he can get his catapult himself into 4th. In fact, Danny Sullivan is approaching right in their midst. Looks like Danny Sullivan is really under a lot of pressure now from Nelson Piquet, trying to get the move on for third. I think Piquet's found his way through, possibly. Prost found his way through Senna, but Sullivan is hanging in there for third. It's Nelson Piquet trying to put the pressure on, but Piquet has got the pass on the American, and that is Piquet up into third. Prost has got past Senna, he's into 5th, Senna 6th, Boutsen is in 7th position as John Jones has pulled a small gap between him and Street for the lead of this race. Trying to give himself a little bit of breathing room, but the battle for third is hotting up between Piquet, Sullivan and Prost. Piquet getting the fast lap of the race at the 51.2, but here comes Danny Sullivan with that slipstream, and I'm going to let sideways there. That's going to cost him, and in fact it has cost him. Sullivan has found his way back into third, and the battle for the lead is once again intensified between Street and Jones. Jones going for the inside line, trying to stay ahead of Street, but nope, Street has found his way back into first place. Street and Jones swapping back and forth a lot this race, and behind this Joker Master getting past Hannah McCullough, that is for 8th position. Berger is just outside the points in 11th. I mean, this is his perfect chance to close in on Alboreto and Mansell, since neither of them had qualified for this race. As we're on to lap 9 of 49 already, Street getting past Jones for the lead. And Alan Prost just got past PK for 4th. And behind Senna and Boutsen battling for 6th place. As Prost going up the inside line, Oliver Sullivan, but not able to do anything about it. And John Jones now getting ahead of Philip Street for the lead of the race. Lots happening up and down the field. So there's quite a lot happening towards the back end of the field, that's for sure. But we're about to start lap 10, so we're not too far away from being a quarter of the way to this. Well, we're about a fifth of the way to the race already. A bit sideways there from John Jones. I think he may just go his tail at the back end out a little bit. That's going to cost him, and it has. And Al Prost getting past Danny Sullivan. Into 3rd place he goes. So France have got both the drivers in the top 4 spots, but Danny Sullivan is coming back to try and get the United States still in a podium position. With PK 5th, Boutsen 6th, Senna 7th, Struckmass 8th, McCullough 9th, and Garrett Barry now is the top 8. He's got ahead of Achiever. And here we go, let's start lap number 11 of this race. And Billy Street once again trying to go for it. And Prost hanging 3rd, he's under pressure from Danny Sullivan as well. And coming to the first corner for start lap 11 on the outside is Billy Street. That might cost him. Sullivan, okay, Danny Sullivan went to the inside, and he has got back into 3rd again. Danny Sullivan really fighting hard to stay in the top 3. He qualified really well. He wants to try and get a really good result for himself and for the United States. Even though they might not be fighting for the title, he wants to still get a good finishing position in the championships in the nation's competition. As Philly Street around the final corner, that's John Jones 2nd, Prost in 3rd, under pressure with Danny Sullivan still. So it's going to be swapping positions back and forth quite a bit. Here goes Danny Sullivan with the slipstream once again. And we're on to lap 12 of 49. Danny Sullivan going to go for the inside line over Prost. Stig Blomqvist getting the fast lap of the race. He's down 12. He's fighting for 12. Yeah, well, been passed by John Nielsen for 12th place. And there we go, down Sullivan on the inside line. Sullivan's going to go for it, try and get 3rd place, and he looks like he has done. Oh no, he hasn't. Process managed to stay in his 3rd as the battle for the lead continues to intensify. In fact, the top 4 are pulling quite a gap over the rest of the field. There is Gerhard Berger in 9th, trying to get ahead of Joe Mass. This is for 8th place. It's going to be crucial for him in the Drivers' Championship. And there's Ayrton Senna ahead of him 6th. Senna really has slipped down a bit. No, Senna's 7th, it's not 6th. As Gerhard Berger passed by Joe Mass, but can he do anything about it going into the 1st corner? It looks like, oh, but a sideways maneuver there from PK. Let's let Boutsen get past him for 5th place. As we're on to lap number 13. PK going for the inside line, trying to get ahead of Boutsen, but not able to do anything about Boutsen at the moment. Looking for another field, back in the points. Cheever ahead of Hannah McCullough and John Nielsen. As the lead. It's going to change once again with Jones and Stree. Prost and Sullivan again battling hard for 3rd. As Boutsen's in 5th, PK and under pressure from his teammate Senna, who looks like he's going to go for the maneuver. As Gerhard Berger trying to do the same with Joe Mass, trying to get Austria into 8th place. He needs to get some decent points himself for the championship to try and catch the top 2 drivers who didn't even qualify. Not really going his way so far. That was 14 of 49, so we're not too far away from being a 3rd into this race. There's been lots of overtakes, lots of drama for sure. There's Danny Sullivan getting past Alan Prost once again for 3rd. Alan Prost will try and get the slipstream to repass the American. As Joe Mass, meanwhile, is getting ahead of Terry Boutsen, trying to put the pressure on Nelson Piquet for 5th now. So Gerhard Berger is losing out, has lost out on that. It looks like. So is Senna. He's dropped down to 8th. 3 wide turn 1. Always a risky maneuver here in this race, but it looks like it's going to be Joe Mass that wins out of it. But as PK is about to come in and try and repass the West German. And PK on the outside. And he just goes and does it. As the front runner is still pulled quite a good gap over the rest of the field. That's not gonna, which is not good news for everyone else who could be championship contenders like PK, Senna, Berger, Bernd Schneider. Bernd Schneider's actually dropped to the back of the field. He's really been struggling this race. Trying to get past Pierre Schober for 21st. Okay, lap 16 of 49 now, so we're nearly a 3rd into this race. There's Nelson Piquet though, trying to get the move on Joe Mass once again. Gerhard Berger gets ahead of Senna, puts him into 8th. Cheever at the back end of the points still, so both Americans in the points, with McCullough and John Nielsen behind in 11th and 12th respectively. Louis Purcell is another championship contender as things stand, as Spain getting a golden opportunity to try and capitalise on the United Kingdom and Italy not qualifying, but he is down 14th. He's 4 seconds down over the driver ahead. That is Stig Blomqvist of Sweden, who's quite a distance ahead. But Blomqvist is pretty much in no man's land, so he's not going to get a slipstream of anyone, which is not going to help him catch up to the rest of the field, or to the field ahead. Gerhard Berger, meanwhile, is up into 7th, gets ahead of Thierry Boutsen. But Boutsen looks like to come back fighting to get that position back. As Joe Mass, meanwhile, trying to make the move on Nelson Piquet for 5th, and he does so. Here we go, about to start lap number 18 of 49. There's lots of overtakes, that's for sure. Also takes Danny Sullivan getting the fast lap of the race, 50.9, and he's right behind Streif and John Jones with Prost just right behind him. Amazing stuff there from both Sullivan and Prost to catch up to the front runners. But what can they do about it? That's the only question. Is PK and Jochen Mass continue to fight each other for 5th place? This guy by the 7th, it's Ace Cheever. Meanwhile, it just looks like it's getting past the Aaron Senna for 10s. So really struggling there is Ayrton Senna. Not looking good for him. We're getting close to that number 19. Danny Sullivan right behind Streif. He's actually going to go for it so he can get himself into 2nd. Be amazing if he does. But not this time round. Not this time. Oh, God, camera is awful. There we go, camera sorted. There's Nelson Piquet going for the inside line of Jochen Mass, getting himself to 5th. Ayrton Senna's got back past Thierry Boots, and he's back up into 8th. Well, and he's ahead of Thierry as well, who's still sitting in 10th. As it's about 1.7 second gap between Nielsen and Spicula from 10th place, which is a Cheever still. Senna and Boutsen battling for 8th. And looking back ahead, oh! Alan Prost got ahead of Danny Sullivan now, and he's actually got ahead of his teammate Philippe Stray. So, both French drivers in the podium spots. Well, it looks like he's actually going to take the lead of this race. We've got a new race leader in the form of Alain Prost. We're heading to turn number 1. What's going to happen here? Oh, huge impact! Huge crash for Alain Prost. He's able to keep going. Oh no! Okay, we need to get a replay of that. That was a huge accident there. Alain Prost finally got his way to the lead, only to lose it almost immediately. Oh, looks like it was the slightest bit of a touch from John Joe. Yeah, that was just barely a touch. Did not, contact with Sullivan as well, but it looks like Sullivan didn't get too badly damaged. Oh, but Alain Prost, all that progress he made is just gone. And dash the front wing as well. It's not going to do him any favors. So he's been passed by PK already for 4th. And in fact, yeah, the corners are going to be an absolute nightmare for him. So he'll be lucky if he can stay in the points. But I have a bad feeling he is going to be slowly and surely be falling out of the top 10. He's dropped down. He's down to 6. But here comes Berger and Senna to make the move on the Frenchman for those positions. Well, Senna's up to 6. Gerhard Berger goes into 7th. And now Boots and Cheever right behind, who are ready to pounce on the Frenchman for those two for the next 2 spots. And Prost, he's really trying his best, but turn 1 is a huge problem for him because of his damaged wing. So Boots is passed, Cheever is passed as well, so it's really just McCullough and Nielsen that's going to be finding the back end of the points, because Alain Prost is going to inevitably fall out because of his wing. Oh man, that's such a shame. Alain Prost really was setting himself up nicely for himself and for France, and it's just one slight touch has undone all that hard work he put to get him to where he was. So it's now it's just a battle between Jones and Streif for the lead. Sullivan's lost touch of the top 2 spots again, so he's approaching no man's land alone, but he's in 3rd, which is still really good. And whoa! Huge sideways move there from Nelson Piquet. Nice, he managed to save it, thankfully, but that was a pretty wild slide there from him. I think he may have overdone it going into turn 1, but Piquet is still here. But it might end up costing him 5th place with that manoeuvre. Jochen Mass, well, trying to get a distance between himself and with Piquet and Berger to try and maintain 4th for West Germany. But the 2 drivers are swamping in right behind, and here comes Nelson Piquet though, makes his way to 4th for Brazil. Gerhard Berger, who really needs to get good results for the championship. And here he comes to try and make it 3 wide going to turn 1. And Oh, it's tight between them, but they've all got to make it through safely. And the winner person to win out of it looks like it's going to be PK. But Garrett Barr's got the inside line going to this next corner. And PK gets into 4th. Barger has passed Joker Mass into 5th. Where's that? Pross has dropped down to 13th. She's been passed by Stig Blomqvist. So he's still going, but oh man, Pross is really going to be suffering for the rest of the race. Really needs a miracle to get some points. As PK and Barger now battling for 4th place, the Joker Mass sitting back watching on. He's dropped quite a bit behind. And it's 7th with Cheever and Bootson battling for 8th place. And at the back end of the points, McCullough getting ahead of John Nielsen. And to go now, Senna, Cheever and Bootson all back for 7th together. And what's going to happen here? And it looks like Senna is going to hold those two off for the time being. And PK and Barger now continuing their intense battle for 4th place. And got the inside maneuver, inside line. It is Garrett Barger. Okay, we're on to lap 25, so we're halfway into this race. Who's been the biggest gainer and loser up to this point? So the biggest gainer, according to the graphics, that is Gerhard Berger, who's gained 7 positions. So he went from 11th to 4th. Chivas also gained 7th, so he's gone from 8th position now. He's gone from 15th to 7th. Oh, Louis Pesas gained 9 positions. He started 21st up to 12th. The biggest loser is Pierre Chauvet. He went from 30th to 22nd. Prost, not surprisingly, is a big loser. He's gone from 12th down to 20th now. And we've got Thierry Booth has gone from 3rd. He's dropped down to 9th. He's lost a lot of positions. So has Blogfest. Gone from 9th down to 14th now. So yeah, interesting to see how many positions everyone's gained and lost. So John Jones leads. 2nd is Philly Street, Sullivan is 3rd. Garrett Barger 4th. Nelson PK 5th. Joker Mass 6th. Eddie Cheever is 7th. 8th Station Center. John Nielsen's up to 9th. Thierry Boutsen slipped down to 10th. Boutsen is starting to really struggle, it looks like. Okay, lots of intense battling going towards the midfield. But there is 7th, trying to pull away from Eddie Cheever. It's behind him in 8th. The question is, when is everyone going to come into the pits? Because we're now past the halfway mark of this race. Well, the shortest track is, I imagine people are going to will actually be lapped when they do come into the pits, so it'll start to make things awkward for everyone. But here comes Eddie Cheever though to make the move on Aaron Senna for 7th. What can Eddie Cheever do here? Will he make the pass? Well, yes he does. Senna going awfully wide. And Thierry Boutsen now trying to put Nielsen in some intense pressure. As PK's just been passed by Joker Mass, that is for 5th place. As Mass is now trying to get ahead of Garrett Barger for 4th. As we're on to lap 27 of 49. Alan Prost, where is he? He's down to 21st. The only driver behind is Pierre Chauvet. So it's not really surprising that he slid down all the way down towards the back of the field with the damage to his car. Okay, no takers for the pits yet, as we're on to lap 28.49. I imagine there will be takers pretty soon, but here goes Thierry Boutsen though, to get the slipstream on Aaron Senna, and to make his way into 8th. Nope, not this time. There's Aichira though, right ahead of the Brazilian to try and get that position back. And towards 4th, Garrett getting ahead of Joker for 4th. There's PK 6th. And here Samuel has just passed Cheever for position, and Thierry Boutsen is trying to do the same with the American. As we've got John Nielsen sitting back watching on. He's pulled quite a gap between himself and Hannah McCullough. As the top two drivers continue swapping back and forth for the lead of the race. Okay, still no tickets for that the pit box. Still, there's under pressure with Cheever and Boutsen, and Cheever's going to make the pass. Boutsen's just is holding off. The Belgian one. Whoa, sideways maneuver there from Senna, and I think Boutsen went a bit sideways as well. Really difficult corner. Turn number 1. It's always at risk of end up having an accident because he's sliding too much. Gill coming the final corner. What's going to happen here? Okay, it's staying out. Okay, they're both staying out. Sullivan looks like he's staying out. Gallagher and Mass battling for positions. They're both staying out as well. PK's lost quite a bit of distance on them actually, which that's a problem. Chivas pulled quite a gap between him and Senna. Okay, no one from the top 10 are coming into the pits. There's Streif and John Jones are getting closer to Alan Prost, and but that's not for the lead of the race this time. It's to lap him. The man whose his race has been ruined by a single touch from John Jones from that little racing incident. As Berger and Mass battling for 4th, and Joking Mass makes the pass. Face Streif leading the way. He needs to try and get past his own teammates. And he goes, and he does so. That's actually slowed down John Jones a little bit, but how much to slow down? Hard to say. As Joking Mass and Berger battling for 4th. Quite an intense battle here as well. Cheever 7th. T. Boutsen trying to get back ahead of Senna for 8th. As John Nielsen running off the top 10 for Denmark. As Streif and Jones half-lapped. And Prost says Danny Sullivan needs to do the same. He's actually been copped up to, well, actually been caught by Mass and Berger. So that's going to put the American under a bit of pressure. That's for sure. We're about to start lap number 32.49. Interestingly, no one's pitted yet. It might change this lap, but everyone's looks like everyone's going for a pretty late strategy. As in fact, we've got Gareth Berger is trying to put the pressure on Danny Sullivan. There's Alan Prost. Trying to get out of the way. Lets Joking Mass through. And PK has been caught by a Cheever, but 6th place. Oh, PK went awfully slid quite a bit there. That cost him 6. Senna meanwhile got past Boots for 9th. John Nielsen running off the top 10, but oh man, that's intense there. And look at that, Gareth Berger has passed Danny Sullivan, so Berger is now up to 3rd position. That is great news for himself for the Drivers' Championship. Might help Austria in the Nations Championship, though Austria are not really in a position to fight for the championship. But Gareth Berger and Sullivan continue the intense battle for 3rd. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be really late to the race before people actually pit, because we're on to that 33.49. No one has pitted so far. Interesting strategy. Let's get Berger trying to hold on to 3rd. It's nice. Sullivan's trying to get that position back, but they're not too far behind Streif and Jones. Jones leading the way by about 7/10 over the Frenchman. Looking pretty good. In fact, they're not too far away from lapping the next door. That's Pierre Chauvet in 21st, the other Austrian who made it to this race. As John Jones going in the pits. Okay, Jones is coming into the pits this lap. Pitting from the lead. Anyone else in the front? Are the other front runners going to do the same? Doesn't look like it. Might be just John Jones. This could work out in his favour. It might end up being a disaster. Who knows? Meanwhile, the 2 Brazilians and T. Boutsen are battling for 6 all of a sudden. And we've had a spin! Oh, the 2 Brazilians and T. Boutsen have had a crash! Okay, three cars in an accident. This was battling for 7th. Okay, go from the perspective here. He's going for the inside line. That's the two Brazilians. Slight touch right there to Senna. Oh, okay. That slight touch had spun at Senna, and Senna caught Piquet. Because Piquet, oh no, Senna had a huge slap. That might be it for Senna though. I'm not sure about Piquet though. I don't know if he can continue. Yeah. I think Piquet and Busser keep going, but I think Senna may be out of the race. John Jones coming out of the pits now. Where is that? Where is he gonna come out in? So yeah, Senna is out. Oh, and Piquet's out as well. And so I found out all three drivers are out of the race, it looks like. Okay, so John Jones coming out of the pits. He's going to come out in 16th. So Sullivan is... Okay, Sullivan's leading the... Oh no, Sullivan... Okay, which the camera's going to show me. Okay, so Sullivan's in the pits, Street's in the pits, Vargas in the pits, and so is Joker Mass. Chiva's coming in, Nielsen is coming in, Bert Schneider is going to take the lead of the race all of a sudden. Look where he's come from. Now what's going to happen here? Can Sullivan come in out of the pits first? So Schneider's leading the way. Costas Loss is staying out as well, so he's going to go into second. Where is John Jones? Coming around the final, he's coming around the final corner. It's going to be okay. It's going to be close to see if it might be close. Where? Okay. Oh, we've had another crash somewhere. Wait. Okay, so we had an accident. Lawrence is crashed. What happened to the Dutchman? Oh, he's going to be... Okay, this John Jones behind... Okay, so he's been passed by John... Jones... Oh! Jones going to... Okay, I'm not really sure... Was Lawrence trying to get in the pits with John Jones in the way? Why did he back out of it? Okay, I'd have to say that was John Jones's... Well, no, not John... No, Lambert's fault, but... He caught... he crashed into Thorkus Thiring as well. Thiring's able to keep going, but... Thiring's going to have some damage to his car. Okay. The Schneider's lost second. Foshi's up to third. John Jones is going to be in fifth. He's ahead of Danny Sullivan, who's dropped down to seventh. So it's like Schneider, Lost, Foshi, Parasol, and Thiring. I don't think they're the ones who've not pitted. Sullivan is ahead of Streif. Well, quite a distance ahead of Streif, actually. So John Jones is going to inevitably retake the lead of the race. So Schneider's coming in, Lost is in, Foshi's in, Parasol will be coming in as well, and that is Landler's out of the race. I'd say it's completely his own fault. So yeah, John Jones easily is going to retake the lead of the race. Prost, meanwhile, is going to... Although he... okay, he must have pitted as well in. But Prost is in 19th. Okay, so he's definitely stayed out. Okay, so... No, definitely pitted, sorry. So John Jones leads the way. Sullivan is second. And... Freddie Street is third. Oh, it's Louis Parasol going to come in fourth. He's not pitted. Oh, he might have... Oh, did he pit? Hang on. Progress, pit stop. Oh no, everyone has pitted. Okay, at this point. So, Parasol has already pitted, so he's going to come in fourth. Where did Parasol come from? Okay, so Chiva's going to come in fifth. Berger is sixth. Up here, the Doan. Bert Schneider is ahead of George Foshi, but I think the Doan, he started last in this race. He might get himself into... Oh, the 7th, 8th, 9th, Koslos 9th. Okay, the Doan's actually goes into 10th. Larry Park's 11th, John Nielsen's 12th, Nicola 13th, Mass 14th, Blogfest just ahead of Thiring 15th. Okay, so everyone's pitted at this... Okay. Okay, so who's the base gainer loser after that? Okay, so base gainer... Whoa! Louis Parasol, he started 21st, gained 17 places up to 4th. Pierre Doan gained 12 positions. He started at the back of the field, he's up to 10th. Lost gained 12th, started 20th, he's up into 8th. Foshi and Chiva gained 10 positions, Chiva started 15th, Foshi 19th. And the biggest loser... Oh, Joker Mask getting the fast lap of the race. Man who is currently... where's Mass? 14th. So the biggest loser is Nielsen from 5th to 12th, Blomqvist 9th to 15th, and Prost 12th to 18th. Okay. Wow, what a major shift this board has had. But this would be an amazing result for Canada and for John Jones. Dysov in 2nd position. Amazing result for him and for the United States. The United States needed a good result and they're going to finally get it. France could have been more. But 3rd place is still a really good result. Spain getting a good 4th place with a double DNF for Brazil. That opened the door for Spain to not only catch up to the United Kingdom and Italy, but catch up to Brazil as well. Joachim Mass, fast man again in 14th. Who's right behind Michele Perkins and John Nielsen in the battle for 11th, with Blomqvist right behind him. Inspiration is getting past Kostas lost for Greece into 8th. Greece may be out of contention to win the championship now, but 8th place, that's still 4 points for Loss and for Greece. That's still an amazing result for them. They can be really proud of that result. Sorka firing has just been lapped by the leader, that is John Jones. Danny Sullivan 3.5 seconds down, but he's still third, but 12.5 ahead of 3rd of Philippe Streif, and who's a further 11.5 over Louis Persala. Kozlov just retaining the position back of Schneider, that's for 7th. George Fauci, the back of the point in 10th, trying to catch up to Pierre Dodon. Meanwhile, those two are just outside the points battling for 11th. So Larry Parkins, Nielsen, Mass, and Mikola. Mass is pushing hard, but just need to find those right spots to make the passes. Mass just has found his way past Larry Parkins, and that's him into 12th, just like that. Yes, Sullivan ahead of the lap driver of that's Pierre Chauvet, who's in 17th. Towards the back of the field, there's Alan Prost in 18th. He's pushing hard, but man, unfortunate accident. But he still managed to stay in the race, unlike the two Brazilians, Lambert and Boutsen, who've had an accident, and that's sent them out of the race. There's Bernstein and Koslos continuing that fight for 7th. Meanwhile, Garrett Barger, the man who needs some good points, he's in 6th. He's trying to chase down A. Cheever for 5th. The United States of America should be delighted with themselves. Both drivers in the top 5. Sullivan 2nd and Cheever 5th. Well, only be 2nd though, counting the Nations Championship. When the United States are approaching on the edge of being knocked out mathematical contention, but they can still finish really strongly this season. I think they're going to do that based on those results, because there's only 3 rounds of the season left, and I think the United States are going to have a very strong finish as things stand. As we're on to lap 42 of 49, so we've only got about 8. So we've got 8 laps to go. I mean, John Jones. I think John Jones is going to come. I would say he's going to comfortably win the race. Oh, it's actually been unlapped by Thorka Thiring, interestingly. But it's 3.3 seconds, so his win is. I don't think his win is secure. I think if things don't change towards the end, it will. But until then, I don't think it is. Meanwhile, at the back for 1 point, George Fauci's been caught by those that are fighting for 11th. As Fauci's under pressure from Larry Parkins of Australia, with Joachim Mass and John Nielsen looking like they're going to try and find a way to get involved. And Mass is going for the inside line, and Fauci's just been passed. That puts him down to 11th, and Larry Parkins into 10th. But look at that, Pierre Dodon is caught up in all this as well. So not only is Parkins going to get to 10th, he might actually take 9th of the Belgian of Pierre Dodon. Maybe not right now, but I think it's possible with how intense this battle is suddenly becoming. As we're on lap 43-49, so 7 laps left. Looking really good. Pierre Dodon trying to put the pressure on Larry Parkins, trying to force into a mistake. but not able to shake off the Australian. But here comes Larry Parkins for 9th. George Bush on the outside, trying to see if he can get involved somehow, but not able to do anything about it for the time being. And Larry Parkins, oh, he did temporarily get ahead of the Dome, but he's just been repassed by the Belgian. Pretty exciting stuff here coming towards the end of this race as we're on to lap 44 of 49. Well, Garrett Barger looks like he's cut the gap between himself and Achiever, but we get the slipstream though to close in. He's got still got a few laps left to go to try and get into the top 5, try and get some decent points. Meanwhile, Kosloff and Barshai still in that tense battle for 7th between West Germany and Greece. Let's go to turn 1. Larry Parkins going for it, and it looks like he may have just got ahead of him for now, but Pierre Dodon is fighting back once again. We're on to lap 45 of 49. It's John Jones trying to try and keep firing behind him to keep him a lap down. He's lapped Blomqvist, interestingly enough, so Blomqvist kind of struggled this race. Let's stay Streif in 3rd, Louis Parcin 4th, Achiever 5th, but here comes Garrett Berger though. See if he can get Austria into a top 5 finish this race. And Garrett Berger, just like that, easily gets past Achiever, and that's Berger into 5th. That's going to help. That'll help him out ease some pressure in the championship. And Joker Bass getting the fast lap of this race once again, 50.1 seconds. Amazing time there from Joker Mass, but look at the cluster of cars here. They're all battling up and battling for 9s. There's Hannah McCullough and Fushi. I think there was a bit of contact between the two drivers as Mass makes his way into 11th. He's now right behind Larry Parkins, who's sitting in 10th, as Pierre Dodon's just ahead of him in 9th. So on to lap 46 of 49, and now Stockton Harry getting ahead of the race leader. That's going to slow him down, but the gap between Jones and Sullivan is 4.6 seconds. I don't think Sullivan can really do anything about it. I think it's going to be confirmed that the win's going to go to Canada with John Jones as Achiever repasses Garrett Berger for 5th. Meanwhile, the big cluster of cars battling for 9s. Oh, Larry Parkins there. Think there was a bit of contact between him and McCullough, but it looks like he's able to get out of that situation unscathed. As we've got 3 laps to go. Garrett Berger getting back. It's got back ahead of Cheever, Schneider and Loss still battling for 7th, with Schneider ahead of him for the time being. And those battling for up all the way up to 9th position. There they are. Joking Mass trying to get a slipstream of McCullough, who's trying to find his way past Larry Parkins for 10th, trying to get Finland a point. Joking Mass trying to go for it. Nope, not finding an opening. But he does go to the inside line. He does get a slingshot ahead of McCullough as we're on to the penultimate lap of the race now. John Jones is actually right behind the drivers, with Thorkin firing as well. Okay, so he's not too far behind, getting caught up with all those battling for the back end of the points. But so that might complicate things a little bit, I imagine. Meanwhile, Berger and Cheever are still battling for 5th, which is 10 points. So which one's going to get 10, which one's going to get 8, but here comes Cheever to make the move, going for the inside line. And Cheever is going to get that pass. Dorcas Siren getting the fast lap of the race, 49.9, and we're on the final lap of the race. What's going to happen here? We'll go aboard John Jones, he's pretty in the back watching on. He's got the two. Okay, so so Siren's unlapped himself. He's got ahead of his own teammate John Nielsen. So he's pretty much caught up with all this drama for the back end of the points. But at the end of the day, it's going to be John Jones that's going to take the victory for himself and for Canada. So it'll be his second podium and his first win of this season. And this will be Canada's same story for Canada. Second ever podium with the first first win of the season. And John Jones, with a flawless run, comes across the line and takes the win here at the high-speed ring. So John Jones is your race winner. Danny Sullivan, amazing result for him, is going to finish in second. We're just going to wait for everyone else to make the way across the finish line. Oh, in fact, look at this! Gerhard Berger has just got ahead of Louis Persala. Oh, I did not notice this, but Gerhard Berger might actually not only get 5th off Cheever, he's going to end up snatching 4th of Louis Persala of Spain. What a result for himself and for Austria. And coming right down to the straight, can Louis Persala get across the line? Not quite, it's going to go to Berger. Now it's going to wait for everyone else to make the way across the line. And there we are, that is everyone finishing the race. So there's John Jones, the race winner by 6.5 seconds over Danny Sullivan. Philippe Street finished in 3rd. In 4th is Gerhard Berger. Louis Persala will be gutted to lose 4th right in the final lap to self in 5th. Eddie Cheever gets a good result for himself in 6th. Kostloff 7th. Bernstein is 8th. Pierre Dode 9th. And the final point going to Larry Perkins of Australia. Just missing out is McCullough in 11th, Joachim Mass takes 12th, 13th is Foshi, then the 2 Danish drivers of Thyra and Nielsen, and they're the last drivers to finish in the lead lap. Blomqvist, Chauvet and Prost do finish the race there, but they all finished 1 lap behind, with the 2 Brazilians of PK Senna, Thierry Boutsen and Jan Lammers all DNFing this race. So with that hectic result, let's take a look at the drive standings and see how that impacts the championships going into round 14. After a very tense race at the high speed ring, as you can see, the win for John Jones has put him in the top 6 for Canada, tying on points with Bernd Schneider, with the countback going in Bernd Schneider's favour, because his second best is still second compared to Jones' 3rd. At the top of the table, Alboreto and Mansell are still 1st and 2nd in the standings. Gerhard Berger may have got 4th, but he needed more than 4th place to close in on the pair of them. However, he does mean he's only 14 points behind Alboreto and 12 behind Nigel Mansell. In the Nations Championship, despite getting 2nd place for the United States thanks to Danny Sullivan's amazing performance, the United States, along with Finland, Sweden and New Zealand, can no longer mathematically catch Italy in the Nations Championship. So only the top 10 can realistically win the championship. Italy does continue to lead the way despite Nigel qualifying for the race, with Spain now in 2nd with 111 points, which means they are only 15 points behind Italy, the equivalent of 3rd place. A double DNF for Brazil has split them down to 3rd, with the United Kingdom not having either driver qualify for the 3rd race in a row, puts them down to 4th, only putting them 5 points ahead of France, that sees themselves in 5th position. So, what are my final thoughts? Well, this was definitely a very, very chaotic race, as probably expected in the high speed ring, being a pretty short track. But also, the fact Nigel Mansell has not qualified for 3 races in a row has definitely given a good indication that he is going to end up throwing the championship away. He scored his chance of trying to beat Alboreto during the 4 races that he was suspended for, and now he's not qualified for 3 races in a row. That's pretty much going to set a tone that is a possibility that Nigel Mansell is going to easily end up squandering the championship title to Michele Alboreto, with the possibility of Gerhard Berger, because Gerhard Berger did score points and is catching up to the pair of them because neither of them qualified for this race. However, the other side of things, Brazil, having both drivers DNF this race, well, they're pretty much in a position they're going to end up throwing away the Nations Championship title as well, because they were right up there with the United Kingdom and Italy. But the United Kingdom are pretty much falling off a cliff because, well, they double DNQ'd 3 races in a row, and Italy did not qualify for this race, so that would have opened the door for Brazil to take the chance at catching them. But yeah, it did not happen. In fact, the biggest winner out of it is probably Spain, because they're up into 2nd, only like 15 points behind the lean team. So with 3 races left to go, what's going to happen is pretty much all in the air as far as I'm concerned. So it could literally, anything could be happening. But I hope you're looking forward to see how the last 3 races will go, and I'll see you over for round 14 of the 1988 Formulalympics season.